My name is Tony Visconti, and I'm going to talk to you about a brand new plugin called Tverb. I'm really so honored to be part of this team that made such a great sounding plugin. Whenever I try to emulate the Bowie hero sound and vocal sound, and I did try to emulate it on Heathen and Reality, albums that we recorded much later. And I would always need a room to do that. You know, I would send the vocal track via a speaker out into a studio and then set up the two mics and try to capture a room like that. But a lot of real estate was involved in doing that. You need to put a compressor on the first microphone, definitely, because that's what held Bowie's voice back. Like he was using the same microphone to whisper, to sing very quietly on, and then when he would belt, he would just maybe move back an inch or two. So the first mic was heavily compressed. You know, when you see the graphic, you'll see that first microphone with an invisible David Bowie. You can't, but that's the one he would have sung into. We recorded it this way, the initial Bowie vocal, because we ran out of tracks. Normally, like any other engineer, I would have recorded those microphones on separate tracks. But we had all 23 tracks filled, and David was doing his final vocal. So the only alternative was to record everything, his lead voice and the two microphones, on the only track left on the multi-track tape. And it was mono. Eventide was part of my life in its first 3 years of business, and when I thought of the man who invented it, it was like, this guy's Gandalf. He's not an ordinary human being. One day I got a phone call from Gandalf himself, and he doesn't disappoint. When you meet Tony Agnello in person, he is Gandalf. No, you know, all he's missing is the robe. He wears a hoodie now. But he said, how would you like to do a plugin based on, and I thought he was going to go straight to the harmonizer or something like that, based on the room sound you got on David Bowie's voice for Heroes, based on your 3 microphone setup, and you know, take it from there. Are you open to it? And I said, wow, that's bizarre. I mean, can you really do that? I've never really been able to do that without a room. I do have, you know, plugins that do emulate rooms, but this concept to have the setup all on one page, I never saw this before, and I never thought it was possible. So Tony and his designers came in to speak to me about it, and we took copious notes, and we were just having a think tank at my studio here, and like, we've gone this far, why don't we make it stereo? So I said, yeah, if I had 2 tracks, I would have made it stereo back in the day too. I love stereo. This is the best, most logical thing to do. And that delayed things quite a bit. It was going to, first of all, use up more power to get 3 stereo reverbs in one plugin. When I finally heard it, I can tell you that, you know, having worked in Hansa for several albums, that was the sound, that was the missing element. The 3 microphones were correct, the room is correct, and now that it's in stereo, you're actually hearing something I never got around to doing when I was in Berlin.